Hey guys, Joe at Small Home Off-Grid Prepping. So today I'm going to be adding a GFI to my solar. There's quite a few things around the property. I have some fountains, primarily my pool as well, that I can just be running all day long 100% for free on my solar. And the thing is I don't use the solar every day, so if I'm not using my solar, my batteries are completely charged, I'm actually wasting electricity. I have an 800 watt system here, and if everything's fully charged and it's not charging, I'm wasting. So like I said, I want to run my pool on it, stuff like that, and these are some of the materials we're going to use over here. You see we have the GFI there, we have a receptacle here, we have a couple liquid tight ends. We are going to be using number 10 THHN. Reason being is I had the number 10. You see here, this was tied off. I pulled some wire somewhere through some pipe, I don't even know when, probably years ago. But I've been hanging on to this, and it's just the perfect amount. So I couldn't get away with number 12, but yeah, we're going to use the number 10 because we have it. And this is a 4 square that we'll be using over here, a metal 4 square. It's going to mount up somewhere on the wall over there. But I was thinking about it. What I'm going to do is I don't want any more wires and pipes. I have my straps. I'm going to strap all this back in nice now and strap this in over here and all that while I'm doing this today. The thing is, though, is instead of running more pipes, I actually decided I'm going to come out of the back of this box here, run the pipe through the back where you can't see it, and then come into the back of this box right over here. You see those knockouts, so it'll come in, so you won't see any pipe, you won't see any wire. It would be a lot easier just to pipe this over. I could use the knockout right over here, this knockout, and then pipe down, come over, and come into the bottom of this box, you know, right over here. But then it's not going to look as good. So I am going to go through the trouble to do that. And to do that, I have to take all this apart over here. I have to remove this from the wall, drill a hole in the back, run the pipe along the back, and then come in, you know, back over here. So like I said, I'm going to get into that. But before I get into that, there's something when I was rounding up these materials, because this is stuff I pretty much have in my boxes. I got boxes full of electric stuff. I came across something a few videos ago when I was connecting the actual wires, like over here for the solar, and I explained to you guys that I use large barrel connectors and then you tape them, but I'd used all the large ones I had. I didn't have any more, and I couldn't find the smaller ones. When I was building the house, we use these for the ground wires, but these are them right over here. These little barrel connectors you see here, and I'll show you an example, because real quick I put it together the same way we do it inside of a house here. So this, you see what I did here was this was joining 2 wires, and this would be how you join your grounds. I took them and I wrapped them together. I twisted them together, and then I put this barrel connector at the end, and I used the crimping tool. If you guys have seen before, you remember the crimping tool over here on my clients. Actually squeeze that down and crimp that, and that put that little crease right in here. So that's how these ground wires get joined. One I left longer, okay? This is 1 wire that's wrapped with over here. This isn't 3 wires together. I left 1 longer, and I came up over into here, and this is exactly how I grounded my receptacles, right? So 1 wraps around the ground right over here, and then comes out and terminates on this one right down over there. So that basically properly grounded both of these receptacles here. This would be in like a 2-gang box, and this wire would be coming up from the bottom. So, but I want to show you guys how I use this crimp over here, and this would be like in a house application. These I have left over from when I wired my house and I built my house. So this is pretty well how I did all the grounding inside of my house here. So that's pretty well how it will go. Like I said, you leave 1 longer, you wrap these together, put your barrel connector on the end, and then crimp it down, and then leave it longer, and like I said, just wrap your grounds. If you had like a 4-gang, then you just leave it longer and put 4 together. So I just want to show you guys that real quick. Like I said, I found these when I was looking for some electrical stuff over here. So like I said, all my solar wires that I joined together, that's exactly how I did this. I used the barrel connectors, and then you just wrap them and insulate them good with the tape. So like I said, first step to all this, guys, I got to take this apart over here, remove all these wires, remove everything from there. So I'm not going to film this as I'm going. I'll film it in stages so you guys can see what I'm doing. So when I get this apart, I'll be back. Alright, so I got the box out now. You can see the wires sticking up over here. So I'm this knockout right over here. I'm going to go take this out. I'm going to pop that knockout out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set this back in place so I can line up that hole, because I'm going to have to drill a hole in the back where the pipe is going to come through. So once I get this going here, then I'll be back. Okay, so you see I took out that knockout in the back of this box over here, and I lined this back up. I kind of just set this 1 pipe in place, and you can see my hole, because I have this through bolted. It goes all the way through. There is some screws that screw it in, but then there's a through bolt, so when you pull on it, it doesn't rip out of the wood. So you can see that's all lined up nice. So like I said, I just took a drill and put a mark right there where I need to drill that out. So I'm going to get that drilled out and start getting this back together here. Alright guys, so we got this drilled out, but you see there's going to be an issue here, okay? When this comes in through the back over here, you can see how thick this wood is right here, and I can't really reach around the back and film at the same time. But this part right here stops flush with the board right over here, so it won't come into the back of the box. So I'll show you how that gets taken care of. That basically gets taken care of this way, right over here. We extend this out, so this will come through the hole this way into the back of the box, and then it gives you plenty of room here. And the way we did that is this is what's called a female adapter right over here. It's a threaded here, and it's smooth over here. So the female adapter screws into the end of this over here, the liquid tight end, and then we put a little piece of pipe in there. Just get a little small piece of pipe here, which will slide into the female end, actually the male end, and then over here, female end. Over here we put the MA on, and then it extends it. So we're gonna have to do that with both of them. So I want to stop quick and show you guys that. Alright, so that's how our pipe and wire look right over there. You see how we extended it right along over here. So it'll come through that wood and go into the back. Here's our 4-square that we mounted up over here. And as I'm putting this together, I'll explain to you guys here. If you remember from a couple of videos ago, I don't remember which one. I think I was connecting the inlet to the house for the generator, but I don't remember. I told you guys I like to put bonding screws up on the top. The only reason for that is it makes it easier to work with than being on the bottom. And if you notice here, what I did too is this actually bulges out. Okay, so when the screw goes in, it's not hitting the wood in the back or a wall. This bulges out, and if you see here, the GFI is a lot thicker than the normal receptacle. You can see the difference here. Let's see if I can flip them over and show you guys there. Yeah, now see the difference, how much wider this is over here than this. That means I'll put this one in over here because I have more room. The GFI, it probably wouldn't hit that, but sometimes you do get in a tight area with GFI. So this side here gives me a lot more space. So like I said, my bonding screw I put on the opposite side, and my wires also will come in on the opposite side as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that harness through and then put this disconnect back together over here, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so I got all this pretty well back together, but let me stop here real quick and show you a couple of things that I did here. I didn't think I was gonna, but I did decide to actually use a barrel connector so I can show you how this gets done. You see here where I just pull these two grounds together here. This is one coming all the way from here. It's only one wire. So this one here was a shorter one, and I took this and I stripped back the insulation here and let the wire run continuous. So this is two wires with this one running continuous, and I put the barrel connector over here, and then I crimped that down, and then I'll just connect this end right into the ground bar right over there. So yeah, that became the easiest way of doing it. And then for the power to the GFI, which are these wires that are coming out right over here from the box over there, this black one back over there, which is this one right here, is the wire that's going to feed that GFI. And you see here, I just put in what's called the pigtail. The black wire comes into here, it connects to the blue inverter wire where it gets power from, and it gets its power then from there. So then I'll just connect this back into the disconnect, and this feeds the rest of the house all over again. So like I said, I just want to stop real quick and show you guys how I decided to do that at this point. I'm going to finish putting this back together, and then we're going to start working on the GFI, and I explain the difference between line and load. Here it doesn't so much matter if you swap. It does matter, okay? You want to have line and load correct, but if you didn't have it correct, you wouldn't even notice a difference. But you do want to have it correct. An inspector would definitely notice a difference. Line is power coming in, so that's these two in the center. Load is power going out, and on the GFI it will matter. So I'll explain that to you guys once we get to that point. Alright, so yeah, that whole disconnect, that's all back together. So now we're working on the GFI side. You see I got the grounds connected here, all the hots are connected, so everything's good here. This basically is just done on this side here, but now we're connecting this. I wanted to stop real quick and show you guys this, because the cover, there will be a cover that actually goes over this, okay, that the devices go into. This one is really cool. I like this one. I actually dug one out from a long time ago. I probably had it. It's brand new, but I had it for a while. But this is how they usually come. You see how this is the decor over here. But then they come with these plates that you can put a duplex in over here, which we're doing. We're going to use the GFI as a decor, and then we're going to use the duplex recep over here. Usually these things come just like this here. You want a light switch, you buy one that's a light switch. You want a duplex, you buy one that's a duplex. You know, you want a decor, you buy one that's a decor. But these ones are cool. These ones come with these little plates, and they even have them over here for a light switch if you wanted to put a light switch in. So this is cool. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know, these might have been around for a long time, but this is the first time I've ever come across one of these here. So I think that's pretty cool that you have one and all. So, but the big thing, the reason that I stopped here to show you guys, if you notice, this is indented over in here. What's going to happen when you try to put in this GFI, and it's going to be the same with the duplex, this piece right over here, this thing, is going to hit this and it won't fit in. So these, as you see here, they have little lines right in here. They're meant to break off, okay? So these need to be broken off before you put that in, and it's going to be the same thing on this recep over here. So you have these little lines here. And all I'm going to do, it's going to be too hard for me to hold the camera and do this at the same time, but I'll explain to you guys. I'm going to take my clines and I'm going to put them on the end of this. I'm going to hold this and then just twist back and forth, and it'll snap at this line right here. So once I get those done, I'll show you guys how it looks. So yeah, you see, I'm going to put my clines. I just wanted to show you this real quick. I still can't do this holding the camera. I have to hold the recep and hold this. But I want to show you. You put your clines right up towards the top. Okay, these, again, you guys remember these here. Right up towards where that line is, and then I'm just going to twist back and forth, and it's going to break off right over there. Okay, so that's the side tabs broke off. You see here where I broke them off over here, and over here you see a little pile of them. But guess what? That's not it yet. There's still more to this to make these things fit. Now if you notice here, on this one here, on the very top, you see another line right over here. Well, that's the same thing, okay? To fit inside of this RS cover over here, this won't fit. You see how that's sitting here and here? So now these top tabs, same thing on this over here, these top tabs need to be broken off as well. So you have to break off the side tabs and you have to break off the top tabs as well. Alright guys, so we got all that together. You see where I bonded my box at the top over there? And all I did was I left this wire was completely long. This is one piece, and I just stripped it in the middle over here. And then wrap that around the screw and bonded it, and then this will connect to the ground. There's a few different ways you can do this. This actually normally wouldn't be my first choice to do it this way. It's fine, there's no problem with it. The thing is you guys, I told you earlier, I ran number 10 wire, okay? And number 10 wire will not fit into the pressure plate of the GFI, these little holes over here. And I prefer to use the pressure plates on the GFI because you do get a better connection than wrapping at this point. Now, this is completely different. If you see these holes over here, this is called backstabbing, okay? And if you ever have an electrician coming in your house, and I'm sure I'm going to get negative feedback from this because every time I say something about electricians doing shoddy work, I get electricians sending me comments. I don't know, they like to defend shoddy work. But like I said, this is for the homeowners because there's a good way of doing things, there's a bad way. Doesn't mean it's not the code. By backstabbing, what happens is electricity will create resistance. That's all there is to it. It's that simple. And when you backstab, all you're doing is you're taking a wire like this over here and you just pop it into that hole right over there. This would be stripped, of course, and you just jab it in that hole. That's it. You're done. Walk away. Have a nice day. Well, what happens with backstabbing is as resistance, metal will heat up. Okay, when metal heats up, it expands. When it cools off, it contracts. And after so long, and sometimes it doesn't take long. I've seen houses 4 months old where the contractors backstab it, and you have arc fault breakers tripping, and I've seen them burn up at that point. Stuff like that. So backstabbing, like I said, it is something that is acceptable per code, but you will never find a good electrician that will do it. They always wrap your wires just like I wrap my wires right over here. Then you torque them down to the correct specifications, and I didn't show you guys that because if you're an electrician watching this, you know I use my impact, I count clicks. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I'm a master electrician. If you're not at that point, then you have to have a torque wrench, okay? You got to torque these things correctly. A lot of electricians that have been doing this as long as I have, they know how to do this with their power tools. They've practiced long enough with them and you know it. But if you're not, like I said, you know, you're an apprentice working in the field, because like I said, these are really designed for two categories. One, I don't mind helping apprentices. I get a lot of comments from apprentices asking me questions. The other is for homeowners, okay? I want you guys to know if someone is coming in your house, and today I'm putting this in my solar, but if you're doing this on your house, this would be the same exact thing. There's no difference. My solar is putting out the same AC voltage that's in the house. It's connected to the house, so this is how contractors should be coming out and doing this. Like I said, they should definitely wrap the screw, and you never want to backstab, okay? Now, another quick trick I'm going to show, just this one's really for apprentices, not homeowners, but this is an apprentice trick here. The reason, if you're working with THHN stranded, this is all solid, nice and easy to work with. THHN stranded, when you're connecting these to receptacles, it can be a pain in the neck. It can be a bear sometimes. So what you want to do, if you go to wrap around the hook, like this over here, okay, if you take this off, and this is what I'm showing you is what is do not do, okay? You see how it's already fraying over here and all that. So if you were to wrap this around the hook over here, okay, so if you were to just take this and wrap this around the hook, when you tighten it down, and you'd be going this way because you always want to go with the way the screw is turning. So if you're putting on solid, you want to go this way because the screw will turn that way, but it's going to spread out and go like mad. So the trick, hang on, let me redo this. It just popped off. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, if you were to just tighten that down over there, it's going to fray. You can see just by stripping it all the way how this is already fraying and coming apart here. This is what you actually want to do, okay? Don't strip it all the way down to the end, and then you're going to wrap this around the screw over here when you tighten it down. Alright, well, anyways, when you tighten it down, then once you tighten it down, just clip this end off right over here. I mean, you could even leave it. Sometimes it's stuck out not that much that I left it, but you'd like to really clip it down as as close as you could here. So that's a little trick for the apprentices here if you're trying to land THHN on a device. So like I said, you see a lot of especially apprentices, just get in the field, they strip it all the way down to the end, and I mean, look what's happening to this. It's just coming apart all over the place here. Once you tighten it down, that's what's going to happen. So don't strip it all the way to the end and then twist it, nice and tight. You can see I got this twisted tight over here. So little tip for apprentices. So but anyways, next step what we're going to do here is now this has to go into the cover, and you want to make sure you do your wiring before you put it in the cover, because the cover, you see the edge over here, it'll keep you from being able to tighten the screws. So now I'm going to put this in here, and then I'll be showing you how you make the connections to it. So like I said, a little trick I wanted to show you for apprentices out there. Line is power coming in, and on the GFI it is important. You have to get it correct. Alright guys, so we got this all together, and this is what this looks like over here. You got the GFI on this side, and this is just a regular recep over here, but this is a regular recep that is GFI protected. Reason being, let me explain to you guys real quick. I had mentioned earlier about line and load, and I know I'm going to get comments on this. A lot of electricians are going to hate this because electricians love going out and charging people $75 to swap the wires on their GFI. Here in Florida, GFIs only last about 5 years. We get a lot of power surges and all that, and it's to a lot of people it's just a receptacle, right? They go out to Lowe's, Home Depot, they buy a GFI, and they come home and they change it wire for wire, and they think that, hey, it's going to work, I'm doing good, I did it the same exact way it was. And the amount of times I've heard I did it wire for wire the way it was, well, the manufacturers like to get tricky with people, okay? So line, as you see over here, it says line. Line is power coming in, okay? Load is power going out. This is on a GFI, it's very important you get those correct. If you connect line to load, the GFI will trip and you can't get it to reset, and that's what happens a lot of times. The manufacturers got tricky. On this case, it looks like line is on the top, but it actually isn't. It's on the bottom here. But line is on the bottom of this GFI and load is on the top, and years ago it could be the opposite. This manufacturer might have done the opposite. So when the customer does it wire for wire, now line and load have swapped. Okay, where line was on the top, it's now on the bottom, and where load was on the bottom, it's now on the top. And like I said, electricians come out and they charge people $75, and I've done it myself. You show up to the house, you have to charge. Businesses cost a lot of money to run. There's gas and all that. So, but anyways, little trick here for apprentices. Make sure you get your line and load correct. Line is power coming in, load is power going out. So line is coming in here, it becomes GFI protected. Now it comes out of the bottom. Everything that comes out over here is GFI protected, okay? And GFI, I'm not going to get into GFIs, what they are, this, that. I get into that down the road, but I'll tell you, GFI has to be in wet locations. And basically, if you're standing in water, get out of your pool, go to plug something in, you get out of your shower, you're standing in a puddle of water and go to plug in your hairdryer, a GFI will save your life. It'll keep you from getting electrocuted. I'll get into down the road, how they work, what they do. They monitor voltage, their ground fault interrupters. I'll explain all that, but all you really need to know now is a GFI will save your life if you happen to be wet and go to plug something in. They have to be in kitchens, bathrooms, wet locations, outside, stuff like that. So, like I said, line and load very much matter. The way I've done this, you see I have the wires coming out. It's not my preferred choice to do it this way. Usually I would just pull the power wires right into here and here. But with a GFI, okay, they have pressure plates in them, and you will get a better connection with the pressure plate. These are different. I might have explained this a little bit earlier. I'm not sure. I had to do a retake on something here. But these, if you were to plug a wire into the back over here, this would be considered backstabbing, and backstabbing is bad. I think I did explain that earlier, so I won't get into this again here. But like I said, this is pressure plates. You're not backstabbing because you're torquing down the pressure plates to the correct torque over here. So, like I said, number 10 wire, because I ran number 10 wire over there, number 10 will not fit into those pressure plates. So what I've done is I've used number 12, and then I'm just going to wire nut these together. Like I said, not my preferred choice of doing it that way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the code. It's 100% fine. So if you see an electrician in your house doing it that way, don't say, hey, I saw a guy on YouTube who said don't do it that way. It's fine to do it this way, so like I said. So I'm going to connect these wires here. We'll get this all together. We're going to test it, and I'll figure out what's going on here. Alright, so now I just got to put this cover back in place here, but I want to show you guys real quick what I did here is these wires that I took out of here, it's just got wire nutted into the power wires that are coming in from over here to the back over there. Now I'm just going to screw this cover back in place over here, and this thing's all ready to go. Alright, so that's it, guys. That's my new GFI connected to my solar here. I'll turn it on in a second. But you see how much nicer and neater that is here. I could have come out from the side over here with a pipe, ran another pipe down, there'd be 3. Come up from the bottom over here, but I took a lot of extra time to run the wires behind. So, I'm going to finish later on today strapping these in nice over here and put all these strapped down, put the straps back in, which I haven't done yet. But yeah, you see how much nicer and neater that is to do it that way. So let's flip around. Most GFIs, this is a Eaton GFI, so I'm not sure, but most of the time when you flip these things on, the GFI will trip right away. Which it didn't, but you did see the light come on over here. Yeah, we did see the light come on. So we have power. And it tripped. Yeah. Oh, it did trip. Never mind. That was resetting. Okay. I didn't hear a click when it tripped. So that light coming on, I guess, does mean that it tripped. So when we turn it on, it tripped like most GFIs do. And then the center button here, we push in, and it resets. So let's see. I don't have a lot of corded things anymore these days. Most things are cordless. But let's plug in a belt sander I have here. And let's just see how everything works. Let's go into the GFI here. Okay, so we're plugged into the GFI. We're connected to my power inverter over here, and okay, so yeah, it's all working good. And I just kicked my solar in. The solar is fully charged, so it hasn't really been working today. But I just actually kicked it in by kicking that in, but it probably won't run very long. Here you see it's already starting to come down. The stuff is 100% charged, so we'll let it come down. And I love it. That's, the way this stuff works here. It's completely charged. I don't need any power, so it's not going to put out any power. It's only going to maintain. But as soon as yeah, you see, we're fully charged. As soon as 100%. Yeah, that's 100% charged. So, like I said, but now let's see what happens when I kick in the belt sander again. As I'm taking power, it produces power. So this thing, yeah. So we're working real good here, but I'm telling you, I love this system here. This inverter is a great inverter. Like I said, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run my pool off of this. I'll run a bunch of fountains. We have water fountains and pumps and stuff like that, water gardens, stuff like that. I'll run all that off of this. And like I said, this will actually produce so much power during the day that it won't even drain the batteries. I'll run completely off of the power I'm producing during the day. When I do leave the fountains on, the pool won't run at night, but when I leave the fountains on at night, it'll take so little that within an hour, half hour the next morning, whatever it took off the batteries, it'll completely charge up. So, yeah, I'm happy. Everything's working pretty good here with this thing. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, these inverters, you guys have heard me talk about these because we actually sell these on our e-commerce sites, and even now we got great deals on these things. Our manufacturer, because we've been moving some of these through some of our other sites. We're pushing Etsy a lot because Etsy is a great company to deal with, whether you're a buyer or you're a seller like I am. They're just a great company to deal with. I really like dealing with them, so we're pushing them. But we actually have had more traffic on some of our other sites through the website and stuff like that. So, but we've been moving these, and our manufacturer did trap the price, so we were able to put a little bit of discount on our Etsy site there. So, if you go on Etsy, I'll include a link down on the bottom here. This is the 6,000 watt. These even have great financing. I believe this one is $47 a month. You can have this one for 0% APR. So go to our Etsy website, check these things out. And like I said, even if you want emergency power, you don't have to have solar panels. Solar is ideal. This right here, like I said, with my battery bank over here, I have about 15 hours of power to run my lights, TV, stuff like that. In a real emergency where I needed to conserve power, there's a second power inverter right over here, which I would only run the TV off of that battery, which is plugged into, well, they're not connected right now, but I have two 50 amp solar panels with a different charge controller up there. So like I said, this would run my TV for, again, about that 15 hours. And then we have another one over there I'm charging, was in my generator over there. That I can run the lights on. Okay, so in a true emergency, I can run my air conditioner and refrigerator only on this over here, and then plug my TV into that over there, and the other one run some lights on. So like I said, by doing that, only running the air conditioner and the refrigerator on this, that more than doubles the amount of power that I have as far as time goes, 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, whatever. That more than doubles it. And same thing here with what my TV takes. I really get at least like 15 to 20 hours of power off of this setup here. Same thing with the lights. So in a true emergency, I could run myself 24 hours a day if I wanted to. For now, like I said, I just supplement. That's what I'm doing with my pool and everything like that as well. But these are really, really great. They're great for emergency power. You can connect these to your car if you go out camping or you go different places like that. They're split phase, so you know you have the 240 on the different models. Mine puts out 230, which is plenty for me. 230 is really plenty for most cases. You never really have a problem. Even if you have a true 240 appliance, you're still going to run fine on 230 most likely. But the other options do get into adjustable voltage once you go above this one here. So you can adjust it to a true 120, 240 if you wanted to. But again, I'm going to include a link from my website, my Etsy site. This is great for emergency power right here because you know you can turn this right on. You can plug things in if you really wanted to. Even if you didn't have this connected to your house, you can run an extension cord to your refrigerator and plug it in, you know, to the outlet like I just put in over here, and everything's going to work fine. So, like I said, we're doing real good here. You see our amperage. We took the load back off, so our current's gone back down. We're not really putting anything out. The second set of solar panels here is really putting out nothing over here. We're only working on the first one here because we're so charged. So, yeah, like I said, you guys like what you see here, subscribe, hit the notification button. I'll include all the links for this over here. Like I said, we have a lot of options. They go up to 30,000 watts. I've been working on getting all that updated on Etsy. Like I said, we're in a lot of different places out there, including eBay and Amazon, and we were setting up Walmart. But we're really pushing Etsy because, like I said, Etsy is just a great company to deal with. We're real happy with them all the way around. So, like I said, I'll include the links, and you guys like what you see, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. I will be doing the air conditioning. I know I talked about doing the video on the air conditioning. Yesterday's the first day of hurricane season, and we already got something going out in the Gulf of Mexico. We got a lot of rain from it yesterday, but yeah, like I said, I will be doing the one on the solar and the air conditioning, showing you how easy it is to run my entire air conditioner on this, and you guys can do the same thing, because like I said, even if you have a big house, you can basically section off one area of your house. Okay, you can put in this unit, put an inverter unit, which right now I know that they're on our website. I think it's less than $900. They're on sale through our manufacturer, so it's like $800 and some odd for the entire system. So like I said, these things aren't that expensive, and you know, put that in your master bedroom, run it off of this. You got a refrigerator, you got an air conditioner, you got lights, you got all the emergency power that you need, and you know, you're good to go. So like I said, guys, subscribe, hit the notification button, and we'll see you on the next one.